All right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of Search Engine Mastery Podcast. This is your host, Kherk Roldan, and this is the show for search engine mastery optimization, digital marketing, and we launch this and deliver this podcast with quality insights, best advice, and tips from the top SEO experts to the community. So we have a latest podcast today, guys, and I have an exciting guest speaker today. So wherever you are watching right now, we have 35 viewers. Hello, everyone. Awesome. If you have any questions, drop it down. I'm going to introduce this expert to you today. So join me right now. Hello.
Hello
Awesome.
there.
I have Mr. Julian Goldie. Thank you so much, man, for accepting my invitation to be here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this.
Awesome. Yeah, by the way, guys, so those of you who doesn't know, Julian Goldie, he is a visionary in AI, Chat GPT, SEO, and he also ran a seven-figure SEO link building agency, and he is founded Goldie Agency. And by the way, you are using email outreach, right, to build backlinks. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So we do link building with outreach.
Awesome. And he is also the best selling author of link building mastery on Amazon. You can check that out. And he is serving thousands of clients since from the start. And hey, Julian, I know you have a lot of viewers and also people who's following you. So to those of you who doesn't know yet, can you please tell me more about who Julian Goldie is?
Sure, yeah. So I run a SEO YouTube channel. It's probably one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in the world for SEO.
I agree.
That's nearly up to 75,000 subscribers. I do daily case studies with AI, Chat GPT,
Wow.
ranking new websites, all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah, basically post on there daily, have a Twitter, link building agency with 50 people, SEO Mastermind, all sorts of things going on.
That's great. Actually, I'm also subscribing there because you're publishing content every single day, and that was awesome. And yeah, so what inspired you to pursue your link building mastery or in SEO and also AI?
So for me, it was well with AI. The reason that I started doing AI was because I was pretty scared that I was going to lose my job on my company.
Oh,
So for me, obviously, owner of a link building agency, when ChatGPT came along, I don't know if you saw this with content agencies, but a lot of them got wiped out, particularly
mm,
last year. Like I have some friends in Bangkok, for example, who took a huge hit in their revenue as a content agency because of ChatGPT, because of AI, and it was quite worrying. I don't know about you, but I was genuinely concerned. Like, we'll have a company in 12 months. So
mm,
at that point, I was like, right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start testing, experimenting, trying new stuff with AI, and trying to understand the technology as much as I can, so that I can become the thought leader in that space.
yeah,
And I think if you're right at the front of the pack, then you can take advantage of all the opportunities with that technology. If you're at the back and you've got kind of like, your head in the sand and you don't look at this sort of technology, then that's when you get left behind. And so I was like, right, I'd much rather be at the front than the back.
so yeah, I believe in that one as well. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions about AI and SEO, you can drop it down below. I'm going to check it. From Elizabeth, interesting topic. This is gonna be great. Chris Lasconia, hi Julian. Oh, we have
Hello.
question. Yeah, we have question from Ageless. What are some best practices for incorporating Chat GPT generated content into SEO strategies?
Good question. I mean, I can share my screen if you want. I'll show you some of the best
Yeah,
ways
you
to use
can.
it.
You
All
can.
right, perfect. Let's do that then. So
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So should
Oh,
start sharing in a second. There we go. All right. So if you look at this particular SEO checklist, the way that
awesome.
I see AI and SEO is that you're kind of like a sculptor, right? So if you look at like Michelangelo from the 1500s, very famous Italian sculptor, painted the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican. He said that every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it's the responsibility of the sculptor, aka us, the website owners, to mold that into something that's very useful. And for example, if you look at Chat GPT, it gives you a block of stone, but then you have to chisel it down into something that's actually going to rank and that's good quality. And so one of the best practices when it comes to using Chat GPT and AI SEO is an SEO checklist like this, where you can quickly, in 15, 20 minutes, take that block of content, aka the block of stone from Chat GPT, and sculpt it into something that ranks really well. And so you can make sure you're targeting low competition keywords. So you can create an outline before you actually create the content. You can make sure that your article actually matches the search intent of Google. So for example, if you look at a lot of content with ChatGPT, the worst thing you can do is just ask it to create a blog. The best thing you can do is say, right, here's what to write about. Here's the word count for each section. Here's the entities and the latent semantic index and keywords. And here's the search intent of the article. And when you do all of this, you get something much better quality out of it. Now, there's a couple of other things I like to do as well with ChatGPT. I'm just going to open up ChatGPT right now.
Okay.
And if we go to the customized ChatGPT section, right? So your custom instructions inside ChatGPT. One of the first things I like to do, this is a really good best practice to use, is to give it some information about who you are, what you do. And that way, every time you create content on ChatGPT or every time you get a response, that content is personalized to you and it's unique to you, which means when everyone else on the internet is using ChatGPT copy and paste fluff, you have something very, very personalized and unique to you, which compounds across every ChatGPT response that you get. And if you're using this like 50 or 100 times a day, then all of a sudden, the leverage that one single custom instruction has is absolutely massive because that compounds across everything that you do. The other thing that I like to do is inside the how would you like ChatGPT to respond section, I actually use this prompt right here to humanize the content. And this basically allows you, I'm going to open this up in a new document so you can see what it looks like. But this basically allows you to humanize the content so that the response you get is 10 times better than everyone else using ChatGPT. And to give you an example of that, right? If we open up, say, Copilot on Bing, which is basically ChatGPT 4, but without any custom instructions, and we tell it to tell me about SEO, the response that you're going to get from this is going to be very generic, very fluffy, not very useful for a blog post. And if we wait for that to load right here, it's very, very obvious in terms of the response too. It's not very engaging, right? That content is pretty poor. And so a best practice is to use some instructions like this inside your custom instructions on ChatGPT Plus, which means that, a response is way better. As an example of that, if we put exactly the same thing into ChatGPT 4 with the custom instructions we just used, the content is going to feel a lot more human, right? So it's like, okay, why is SEO a big deal? Let's break it down. And you see how it's just a lot more conversational and humanized? So this is what I recommend, yeah. This is something I actually just found out yesterday. That's kind of why I'm excited to show you this. Now, what I can actually show you as well, if we log in, do you ever use Originality AI detector? Yeah. Yeah, so for anyone watching who's not familiar with Originality, basically what it does is it helps you figure out, okay, is the content AI detectable or not? And so that can give you a feel for whether the content is human or not, right? And so if we go to my recent content scans, I actually did this as a test yesterday. So let's open this up. Well, it's taken a while now. Yeah, all right. So this is the content response from ChatGPT with the custom instructions. And you can see it comes out at 98% original.
Wow, that's great.
Right? Which is awesome. It completely fools the AI detector. And bear in mind, like, Originality is probably the biggest and most famous in the world for that, right? Whereas if we take the response that we actually got from ChatGPT 4 with no custom instructions, you can see it comes out at 100% AI detectable.
Yeah.
And so you don't even need a fancy prompt now. You just put these instructions into the custom instructions of ChatGPT and you're good to go. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Actually, we are also using Originality, and during the time we started using it, it's very hard for our people to make it past there. However, you share this right now, and wow, it's blown away.
It's
And
amazing, right?
yeah, it's amazing. And wow, thank you so much for sharing this. Actually, only few people only sharing this with this share screen, and I really appreciate what you did right now. And we have about 72 viewers right now. Hello, thank you so much for watching us from Facebook page, Facebook profile, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thank you. Awesome.
And
So
do you
yeah,
want the what I can actually do is those custom instructions, if anyone wants access to them, I've just pasted them into the chat right there. So that if
awesome.
anyone wants to copy
Okay.
and paste and use them themselves, they absolutely can.
Yeah, let me add it in the comments. So, guys, you can share this or you can also use this. All right. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
Uh, yeah, Enrique said that that changes the game.
It's a game
Another,
changer for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Elgin, can you provide insights into the future of ChatGPT and its impact on SEO practices?
Absolutely. All right. So one of the biggest changes that I realized probably just a few weeks ago now, and it's kind of blown my mind ever since, right? Is the fact that if you look at Google search, it's very inefficient right now. So,
Mm.
for example, if you type a keyword into Google and you're trying to find some information, it's very inefficient because you've got 10 different results on the first page. You've got to
Mhm.
scroll past all the advertising and all the sponsored listings. And then you've got to hope that if you click on one page, that's the right page to get the right information, accurate, fact checked information from, right?
Right.
And it's a lot of decisions to make in one go because you got to figure out, okay, is it accurate? Is it fact checked? Is it legitimate? Have I picked the best sort of result from this top 10 listing? And that can be very messy. Whereas if someone in the future searches directly via ChatGPT or via Gemini on Google, then
Mhm.
they're going to get a much more accurate answer because all of the data from all over the web AI is trained on, and then it converts that into just one single answer. And I think that's the future of SEO, is
Yeah.
not to rank on Google search, but to rank inside these AI chatbots.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Now,
So,
okay,
okay,
I
go ahead.
want to show you something now that's
All
pretty
right.
crazy based on that, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So
I'm
if
interested.
that's so if that is the future of AI and that's the future of SEO, then you have to ask yourself, okay, how can I rank inside Gemini or how can I rank directly inside ChatGPT, right?
Mm,
And so one of the things that I realized is like if someone's searching within this in the next 5 or 10 years, they're going to be like, who's the expert on parasite AI SEO, for example, right? People are just trying to figure out, okay, who's the expert on this? Who should I hire for this? Who's the
mm.
best service for this, etc. Right? But if you can manipulate the data from
Yeah.
multiple different sources across the web, then you can actually rank number one inside the AI, and it's
Mm.
actually not that difficult, right? And so if I ask who's the expert on parasite SEO, it's going to suggest that I am the best expert on that particular
Oh.
topic. And so you can rank inside these AI chatbots. Now you might ask, okay, how do you rank inside these AI chatbots if that's the future of SEO? Because you can essentially control the narrative, right? You can control everything if you can control AI. And so what you can do is you can rank multiple times for the same keyword with parasite SEO. For
Mm.
example, ranking with LinkedIn, I'm ranking right here with App, ranking right here with Medium, with my own website, etc. If you can rank multiple times on the first page of Google for one single keyword, then you manipulate all the data that AI has to work with so that when someone asks for a recommendation inside AI, you're the number one spot and no one else can overtake you. And because AI has crunched all the numbers and seen all the data and you rank everywhere, you're going to basically control the narrative and rank as much as you want. I think that's the future of SEO.
That's the
That's where
future.
we're at. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that. Uh. So right now it's hard to predict like if your content is AI or not because you can also manipulate that one. So what can you say about like Chat GPT can replace human interaction?
I think that the more we get disconnected from each other with technology, whether that's phones, whether that's TikTok, whether that's YouTube, etc., the more we get disconnected from each other as humans, the more we crave that connection because nothing else feels the same, right?
Mm.
And so I think as long as we're providing value beyond what AI can actually do, then we're always going to have a place in the world, whether that's with our careers, with our jobs, with our companies, with our services. For an example of that, let's say, you have a SEO service, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, like for example, you've probably got some account managers or some sort of customer service team in place,
Mm.
and if one of those members on the team is just copying and pasting from ChatGPT, the value of that is much lower than if they're actually like thinking for themselves, asking themselves, okay, what does the customer want to hear, and responding in a personalized, unique way,
Mm.
right? And so that person is adding more value, whereas a person who's just copying and pasting from ChatGPT is there's no value left in the world. And so I think that as long as you're really going above and beyond, create a human to human connection and not just copying and pasting from ChatGPT, whether that's with customer service, SEO, whatever it is, then the future is very bright for you.
Yeah, I agree with you with that one as well. Yeah. So, from Enrique, what are some potential risks or pitfalls to be aware of when using ChatGPT for SEO content creation?
So I think number one is common sense. ChatGPT generally lacks common sense. And
Mm.
so that's why I have the SEO quality checklist in place, because if you don't use that, then when it actually comes to the user landing on the page and reading the content,
Mhm.
they're going to be like, who wrote this? This is
Yeah.
just a load of nonsense. It doesn't make
Mm.
sense. Additionally, I think it's really important to fact check your content, especially if you're in like a your money or your life niche where, for example, if you're giving people health advice, then it's really dangerous to not fact check that because ChatGPT 50% of the time will actually hallucinate. So these are some of the common pitfalls. And then the other thing I find is that it's typically very, very fluffy, right? So if you ask it to write a response or a blog post on what is SEO, and you don't give it those custom instructions we talked about before, then it's going to say in this digital landscape, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be the most generic thing you've ever read in your life.
Yeah.
And so if you can cut out the fluff and all the BS inside it that's normally in there, then you've got a much better piece of content.
Awesome. All right. From Edness, how do backlinks impact SEO and what strategies can you build? Maybe you can share some insights, just a few, so Edness can also know your strategy if it's possible.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to share my screen again.
Okay, sure.
We're going to do a lot of screen sharing today, probably.
I really like it.
All right. So, for example, I don't know. Let's put something like
Mm.
I'm just going to take a totally random term here. So, for example, like SEO agency. Now, if we
Mm.
scroll to the first page of Google, what you can actually do is with Ahrefs or any other tool like SE Ranking, SEMrush, they will do the same thing. You can check how many backlinks are pointing to that page, right?
Mm.
And link building is so important because it's kind of like a vote to say that your content is good. Now, the more links you get from authoritative sources, the
Mm.
more likely you are to rank on the first page of Google. And
Yes.
so if you look at the first page of Google, the pages with the most backlinks are typically at the top of the page.
Mm.
The pages with the least backlinks, for example, like this one, are at the bottom of the page. And
Mm.
if we go even further down, you can see that there's more and more pages with less backlinks as you scroll down the rankings. And so it's kind of like a voting system where the pages with the most backlinks from the best places are at the top, the
Mm.
pages with the least ones are at the bottom. And so ranking with SEO is just so easy because you just get more backlinks and create better content, targeting the right keywords. And if you can do that, you got a much better chance of ranking. Now, the other cool thing as well is when it comes to actually getting backlinks, the clues are hiding in plain sight because what you can do is look at your competitors, see who's linking to competitors. So you can, for example, check the backlink profile like this, and
Mm.
you know, right, okay, if this person has ranked to my competitor right here, then I can just reach out to them and ask for a backlink too. And they might try and charge me some money, or they might try and negotiate some sort of deal with me. But
Mm.
at least I know, okay, these are the best places to get backlinks from. Why? Because my competitor is already ranking with those backlinks. And
Awesome.
so for me, when it comes to actually link building, my favorite way, if we actually pull up my own website right here, my preferred way of getting backlinks, based on what's working for me, you can see as we have built more backlinks, our traffic has gone up as well. So you can see
Mm.
there's a clear correlation. If I look at the backlinks that we built, we mainly get our backlinks from outreach. So we just reach out via cold
Mm.
email to the people who have linked to our competitors and ask them for a backlink too. For example, like this one right here.
Awesome. Yeah, so you are also doing link building for your own website, because a lot of SEOs right now, they don't care about if their website has backlinks, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
traffic or not. So thank you for
But
sharing that. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but one of the first questions I always get from clients
Mhm.
is, do you actually do SEO for your own sites? And
Okay.
so and
What do
so
you
if I
think about that?
do,
Uh,
if I can pull up juliangoldie.com and go, look, here's the backlinks, here's the traffic, they're both going up at the same time, then
done
clients are
deal.
going to trust me a lot more, and then it makes everything easier.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that one. So, continue with that question, no? So, since we are talking about SEO, can you please share some common SEO mistakes, uh, and how can they avoid them?
So the, one of the biggest mistakes I see most websites make is that
Mm,
they don't focus on the highest leverage things, right? So with SEO, there's like 200 different ranking factors,
mm,
but actually only a few of them matter. And the way that I see it is that 80% of the results can be achieved with 20% of the work. So all you
mm,
need to focus on is the 20% of work that gets 80% of the results. And like we've talked about today, I would say that comes down to content, it comes down to backlinks and
mm,
choosing the right keywords. So out of 200 things, content, backlinks, keywords are your most important factors. And if you just really focus on those, typically you're going to get better results than a website that's trying to do all 200 things. And I would say if you try and do everything, you achieve nothing, and then you become very scattered and you're not focused. And so a lot of website owners overcomplicate it, but you can simplify it and go, right, if I
mm,
create the right content, targeting the right keywords with the right amount of backlinks, I'm going to
yeah,
rank. It's as
yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with that one. You said focus, and I also watched your interview with Kasha about focus or the red dress. So you
Oh,
mentioned
yeah.
that you mentioned that you need to focus on some thing that you can do, right, rather than to do all this thing which is not really important priority or cannot make provide money, right? So that's great. I love it. I love watching your videos as well. So with that being said, what can you advise to give to someone who's just starting out in SEO or doing AI as well?
So if you're just starting out, best thing you can do is start your own website and just practice every day on trying to rank content. Because the more you hold yourself accountable to your results, the
Mm,
more likely you are to improve with that particular skill. And I see
mm,
SEO as just a skill set that you can build, kind of like going to the gym every day. And so if you're like, right, I'm going to create this page and try and rank it for this keyword today, and we'll come back tomorrow and test the results, then you can very quickly get a feel for what ranks and what doesn't, and the best workflows to make sure that you can achieve that. And so, yeah, just test new things out every day. Like that's what I do on my YouTube channel. It's literally all my videos are just me training myself to become better at SEO and sharing everything that I learn along the way.
yeah, testing. So yeah, there are also people who's like trying to create their blog, but they don't want to rank this. So uh the best way on how you can become an SEO expert is to test it for your own website, not test it to your client website, right? So since we are talking about testing, or in doing SEO, what's your struggle when building your online business?
What's my biggest struggle
Mm. Like
with
when you
SEO
start
or just building my business?
building your business. Yeah.
I would say, I mean, typically my struggles in the past have been that not that I didn't have the right offer, but that not enough people knew about me, right? And I
Mm,
typically find that's the biggest problem for most business owners is it's not the fact that they don't have the right service or the right offer. That's not an issue at all. It's not
Mm,
even about how much competition they have. It's just
mm.
that most people don't even know who they are. And
Yeah.
so I think being obsolete is one of the biggest problems that 99% of people face. Like, for example, there's some SEOs out there 10 times better than me with their skill set, but because nobody knows about them, they don't make that much money. And they can make way more if people just knew about them, if they were better at marketing their own services. The other thing that I would say is, at this point, we've got like 50 people working for us at our link building agency and across all my sites and everything else. It can be a serious problem managing all those people when you're not looking, right? So for me, I only have so much energy and so much time. And so I have to get really, really good at building systems that keep the standards high, even when I'm not looking at my team's work, so that nothing slips, nothing falls through the gaps. And that is a constant challenge, because when you're building a remote team across the whole world in different time zones and that sort of thing, and you've got lots of people coming into the business and you're growing quickly, things slip. It's inevitable. I understand everyone's human, and we all forget things as well along the way. And so you just have to be prepared to have like really good spreadsheets that make things very simple to track and keeps everyone accountable. And if you can do that, from my own personal experience, everything improves.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you. From Arvin, we know that ChatGPT will change everything, but is it going to affect its effectiveness if you're on free or paid subscription?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that ChatGPT 4, which is a paid version, is
Mm,
much better than ChatGPT 3.5. It's just a lot more intelligent. It provides more thoughtful answers, and you can customize it a lot more too, right? So, for example, with ChatGPT 3.5, which is a free version, you don't
mm,
get plugins, you can't give it custom instructions, you can't browse the web with it. And so, if you want the best possible responses, it's 100% worth the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus. Now, if you really can't afford it, I think the best way is to just go out there and sell some services to clients
yeah.
and do SEO for them until you have enough money to pay for it. And additionally, in the meantime, what you can do is use Bing Copilot, which I showed before in the video. And
Mm.
this will give you access to ChatGPT 4 without actually paying for it. But you just can't customize it as much.
All right. From Chris, so that you'll be speaking in SEO Mastery Summit this coming April. Can you tell us more about what your topic would be?
Sure. So that topic I'll be talking about, basically how I increased my SEO traffic by 1,100% in just 12 months, and some of the best SOPs, case studies, crazy new experiments that I've run. I've actually done 500 SEO experiments in the last 12 months. It's been quite a busy year. And so I'll be sharing some of the insights there. And one of the things that I really want to do with this speech is make it extremely actionable. And so everything that I show, people are going to get access to throughout the presentation, including all the workflows, SOPs, step-by-step instructions, even the prompts, even the free tools that I share. So it's going to be a very actionable way to do SEO and get results with it.
Awesome. I'm excited to learn again from you there. And so you mentioned about providing solution during that event. So, and I also noticed you are publishing daily content in YouTube, social media. I wonder how many hours do you work on average every day?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, for me, like, I feel like I've worked extremely hard to be where I am.
Mhm.
And I feel very grateful to be in the position I am. For example, like the amount of attention I get on social media and the amount of attention I get on YouTube, I'm very grateful for. And so for me, I work as hard as I can to stay there and make the most of the opportunity. And so I'll typically work like 10 or 12 hours a day, but it might look like work. It actually just feels like play to me. I just love it. I love the game. I love working. I love seeing the results from it. It's very fulfilling. And so it doesn't really feel like work. It feels like fun. It feels like I'm just messing around, like a video game almost. And for me, what I like to do as well is I'll look at everything that I can do and spend a long time really understanding what are the highest leverage things I can do.
Mhm.
Because from there, then I can work as hard as I can. So even though I'm working hard, I also
Mhm.
work extremely smart. Like outsource everything I can and delegate everything that I can. And everything that I do is focused on very high leverage activities where I can reach a lot of people, help a lot of people, and grow my business along the way.
Awesome. So that's also the reason, or behind those those thing on how you build your agency to seven figure. Any idea or tips from us viewers how the strategy on how to build a seven figure link building agency?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never really planned it. Like
Wow.
originally,
Uh-huh.
I was making $2 an hour on Fiverr.com. Like that's where I
Wow.
started, probably about 8 or 9 years ago. And so
Mm-hmm.
I had no plan to make multi millions of dollars. Like that was absolutely not in my plan or in my reality at all. And so it's just a case of putting one step forward at a time. I was speaking to Matt Diggity the other day on, you might have seen the YouTube interview, but essentially he said, Julian, do you think I planned any of this? And I was like, no, I don't think so, but I think you're very good at iterating along the way. And I think as long as you're looking at what you're doing and improving and learning from the feedback, then you will get like 1% better every single day at selling
Yeah.
agency services. And you'll get to the point where, for me, for example, I was at $2 an hour, but because I learned and looked at the feedback and improved every step of the way, I can
Mm.
make multiple millions of dollars every year. And it just comes with time as well, time, patience, and extreme hard work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also see your Upwork profile and also your Fiverr.com. It's great. So you're starting doing link building, right? In those platforms.
Yeah, so I actually started off on Fiverr.com writing blog posts. I was writing 500-word blog posts for $5 a pop.
Awesome. All right. So, uh, eh, so you started from there, but yeah, it's great. I'm also started at in Upwork. So before it's Odesk, I
Oh,
started there.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, way back 2011. So, is there any metrics you consider of a potential backlinks to buy? So, since we also have link builders here and also people who's interested to build links.
So, like, is the question, what are the best backlinks to buy?
Yeah, the metrics.
That's a really good question. So, what I actually have, I have a criteria for my team, and it's
Mhm.
like a 50-step checklist that makes sure we vet the backlinks as well as we possibly can. Because one of the problems is you can get very distracted with vanity metrics when it comes to link building, right? So, for
Yeah.
example, some people they just focus on DR or they focus on organic traffic. But actually, when you filter down, you're like, oh, that DR has been manipulated with dodgy links. So it's
Mhm.
very easy to go on Fiverr.com and get someone to increase your DR to 70, but it doesn't help. Or that website is ranking for really dodgy keywords, and that's why it's got so much organic traffic. So, what I like to do, as you can see right here, is just use all of these metrics to
Mhm.
filter down the backlinks to make sure they're as good as quality as possible.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's 100% necessary for everyone to do this. It's absolutely not achievable. Like it's a lot of work. We have 3 people check every backlink in the agency, but what you can do is just filter down as much as you can beyond just the vanity metrics, and that should give you a much better feel for whether the backlinks are quality or not, right? So, for example, let's scroll up to the top right here. So this is based on what our clients like and don't like, right? So we try and go after DR30 and above websites, traffic above 500. We have a blacklist, so we blacklist all the websites that we don't want backlinks from. A lot of our clients don't like certain countries for traffic, so we have to be careful about that. And then we make sure that the content itself is not, related to anything dodgy or black hat. And additionally, we check the IP addresses. So quite often with websites selling backlinks, they'll be using PBNs or they'll be using websites all hosted on the same IP address. And so you have to be really careful of that. Same with sharing Google Analytics IDs, and then making sure the anchor text, the headline, and the content is all relevant too. And with an SOP checklist like this, you can get the best quality backlinks you can. And that's how I can sleep at night because, we've worked with thousands of clients at this point and none of them have ever had a penalty. So you got to be really careful. If you're building links for other websites, be very careful that you're not delivering dodgy backlinks that could hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, I agree with that one. So thank you for sharing this. Is this fine? I'm going to share it publicly as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. It's all in the chat. I should
Awesome.
post it in the comments, really, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, let me share that one right now. All right. So thank you for sharing that. It's very valuable for all of us as well. So you are Do you have any like pricing strategy like DR50 this rate or something like that?
Yeah, so for us, like we split it by DR. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, DR10 costs this, DR30 costs that, DR70 costs this, and that's how we split it basically, because it's the easiest way for our clients to understand, okay, this is what you're getting and this is how much you're going to pay. And I think the beautiful thing about selling backlinks is that it's very productized, right?
Right.
So the expectations can be clearer. It's like, if you want a DR30 backlink, here's how
Mm.
much it's going to cost you. If you want a DR70 backlink, here's how much it's going to cost you. And so you can really scale as an agency if you're selling the service because it's a product. It's kind of like McDonald's for SEO, right? Where you're like, here's what you're going to get, here's how much it's going to cost. There's no room for error. And that's a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful way of selling backlinks.
Yeah. And also you said beautiful. So I like your strategy because you're outreaching websites if it's like if it's allowed to pay for a link. So but there are also agency, they are all only buying for like a list of websites that they can publish or ask for payment. So it's quite different from your method. That's also what I like with your I don't know strategy. So from Elgin, can I create Chat GPT to create SEO friendly content that aligns with user search intent?
Yeah, I would go back to the prompts that I gave before, the 200 prompts document. Like, that's the
Mm,
best way to really go through the content creation process and optimize
mm,
it. And I think the other thing that I have, if you have Chat GPT Plus, I have a custom GPT for actually automating a lot of this. And
mm,
basically, what you can do is just plug in your keyword, and then it will
mm.
figure out, okay, here's the best content outline, here's how to structure it, here's how many words to include, here's the entities, etc. And that works really well as well. I'll post that in the chat so you can get access to it. But
All right.
it's a really powerful tool. I think it's had thousands and thousands of uses by now, so a lot of people are using it and getting good results.
All right. So yeah, Elgin, I added the link there. Just follow. Just use that one. And then from Chi, how do you approach link building for website with limited resource or budget?
Oh, it's a good question. I think if you do it cheap, you can't do it quality. So you got to be aware of that. Like, for example, for us, we have some clients come to us and they're like, right, we want to spend $50 a month. What can you do for us? Can you get us ranking number one tomorrow? And we're like, no, mate, no, we can't. We can't do
Oh,
anything for you. And
uh,
so I think if you're going to invest in link building, you've got to do it seriously and you've got to be committed long
right.
term, right? It's kind of like brushing your
Mm,
teeth where you shouldn't stop. And so for us, if a client comes to us and they've got $100 or $200 budget, we can't help them.
oh,
Like, we
yeah.
literally turn them away. We put them on a waiting list, and maybe one day we'll launch a service where it's a lot more affordable for other people. The other thing
Mm,
that I've actually launched is an SEO Mastermind coaching program
mm,
where this is a lot cheaper. It's like $300 a month, so it's a lot more affordable for those smaller websites on the budget. But at the
mm.
same time, they can learn how to build free
Yeah.
backlinks themselves,
Yeah.
which means that they save a fortune. They save a fortune, and all they have to invest is their time. Plus, they
Yeah.
learn a skill set. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I agree. So I guess that's the better alternative if you don't have a budget. Uh, you can join Julian Mastermind. Do you have the link so I can also share it here because I'm also going to join there soon, like this week. uh,
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I've posted it in the chat now, so
all right. Okay.
anyone can join.
So guys, you can join this SEO Mastermind or is this agency or SEO Mastermind?
This is the SEO Mastermind one. Yeah. Yeah. But if
Oh,
anyone, I'll tell you, I mean, we can do a deal. Like, if anyone buys it today, they can get free access to the agency Mastermind as well.
oh my
We
God. All
can,
right.
yeah, yeah. We'll
All right.
chuck it in 2 for 1.
All right. So yeah, guys, I added the link there. Go to gojuliangoldie.com by Mastermind. So you said you said you said that. So wow. So subscribe now, guys. You can also have the agency for free. I'm going
Yeah.
to make it visible so people can also see it. We have 85 viewers right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. So you can add your questions. We still have like 5 minutes. I know Julian is very busy right now. Where are you right now, Julian?
In Bangkok. Yeah. Bangkok,
Yeah.
Thailand.
Awesome. So, before I also watched the interview that you have in your about us section. So you come to you come to Bangkok, and then that's starting changing your agency career, right? Or SEO career from
Yeah,
5 figure to 7 figure. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, I mean, Thailand was really the catalyst that inspired me to do all of this, right? So for me, for example, I had a 9 to 5 office job. I didn't enjoy it at all,
Mm,
and long story cut short,
mm,
the day I actually resigned was the
mm,
day that they actually made the whole team that I was working with redundant anyway. So I would have lost my job if I didn't start my own side hustle, if I didn't start my own SEO business. And so thankfully, after I got back from Thailand, me and my best friends, we made a pact together. And we said, right, within 12 months, we're going to have enough money to live out in Thailand or live out in anywhere in the world, have the freedom to work online via our business,
mm.
and be able to do what we want. And for me, Thailand really inspired that. Like I went out here, it was like great food, great people, great culture. Absolutely loved it. Been to the Philippines as well. Lots of lovely people there, lots of friendly people. And so these sort of places, it really opens your mind because you're like, oh, there's a whole world out there that I've never
Mm.
explored. And I'm not getting any younger, right? So it's time to act now. And that's why I started my own business. Yeah. And looking back, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Awesome. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I'm curious, like, do you also do ongoing link building maintenance um for your clients, or like one time subscription?
Yeah, so every client is on a recurring package. I think if you're trying to grow and scale an agency, it's got to be a recurring service
Recurring.
because otherwise you start from zero every month, right?
Right.
Whereas if you have like 5 clients on a retainer and then the next month you add two more and then the month after two more, all of a sudden you've got this monthly recurring revenue. Your income is a lot more predictable, and the beautiful thing about link building or content, for example, these are things that people need every single month. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend a recurring package. Typically, that's pretty hard to sell on, say, SPP directly. But if you can
Mm.
get them on a sales call, then you can convert these clients into recurring clients, and that makes it a monthly retainer.
Mm. I agree. All right. So we have here from Foxy, that is Turo Link Building Guide, great help.
Thank you, Foxy.
From Crystal, if you enjoy and love what you do, it doesn't really feel like work. Yeah, I agree.
100%. Yeah, great words. I can tell that with you, Kirk, as well. Like you seem very, very dedicated, very hardworking. It doesn't look like work when I see you working. It looks more like you're just enjoying it and loving the game.
Yeah, it's fun actually. So
Yeah.
because honestly, so before I started way back 2011, I don't have any interest to pursue my career as an nurse. So that time I look for a way on how to make money online. I can work for free as well that time, but luckily I started with $1 per hour in Odesk. So now it's Upwork. Yeah, I
Yeah.
start from there, and it grew from one client to two clients, and increase and start to learn as well. That time is very hard because only few SEO gurus that you can trust, and they don't have any chat support or like faster communication. So it's hard. Like it's a self learning uh training about SEO that time. But yeah, started from there. So yeah, thank you so much again, Julian, for for your time here. I have like 2 to 3 questions that I have left here. So I'm very interested to know like what motivates you despite of everything. What you're doing.
Yeah. So I guess my core motivation is just to help people, right? I know that the more I help people, the more money I make. And
Correct.
for me, I think long term, my vision is really to be in a position where my friends and my family never have to worry about money again, right? So, for example, even just having the YouTube blow up over the last 12 months gave me the freedom to give that ads revenue. I just give it to my mum. I'm like, Mum, you never have to work
Wow.
again. Like, you can retire now. And stuff like that seriously motivates me. It's not really for me, like, I don't care so much about the money. Like, I'm already at a point where I absolutely love my life. I'm so grateful for everything that I have. But if I can see the impact of what I do
Mm.
directly, for example, like helping my mum retire, that
Mm.
is more rewarding than anything else in the world. And I think it just inspires you to do more and see what else you can achieve.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I was blown away that you said, because there are also people like SEOs. The only thing they want is to generate sales from their client, and not interested to help them. Like, I want to sell this because I need money. That's it. And you have this goal to help all the people that in your life right now, including your mom. So it's quite amazing that I learn or hear that.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, like one of the things I did early last year, early 2023, I wrote
Okay.
down everything that I wanted to achieve that year,
Mm.
and one of them, kind of like a Wikipedia page, but
Mm.
post 2023, and I was like, right, one of them was to help millions of entrepreneurs every single month. And bear in mind, back then, like my videos were getting 200 or 300 views a day, so it seemed like an unattainable goal. And then skip forward a year later, it's literally been a year. We get nearly a million views a month on
Wow.
YouTube. We reach 1.8 million people a month on Twitter. We've got an
Wow.
email list of thousands of people. It's like when I had that goal of just helping people, it
Mm.
seemed to motivate me and it seemed to have a much bigger impact than anything else I've ever done before in my life.
Wow. That's crazy. It's a
It's
lot.
crazy, right? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I never thought that would be attainable. But when you set goals like that, where it's more than just you and it's more than just financial, it totally changes your life.
Awesome.
And it
Yeah.
comes with financial rewards naturally as a byproduct.
Mm. So, uh, back to SEO. How do you approach SEO for niche industry or like specialized market?
SEO for like a specialized market. So I think again it comes down to keywords, content, and backlinks, but just tailoring it to that market, right? So for example, let's say you're a dentist and you're in Texas, then you would start off with keyword research, figure out okay, what are the next 50 or 100 articles I need to create to achieve top core authority on this subject, and which keywords are low competition but high volume to bring in enough customers to justify it. And then from there, create the content based on the SEO checklist we've talked about earlier today, which means that you can consistently produce content at scale for a reasonable price. There's still quality and still ranks. And then the final thing is, right, how many backlinks do I need to rank for this keyword? And like we've talked about earlier today, it's just
Mm.
about looking at your competitors for each keyword,
Mm.
figuring out, okay, I have this many backlinks, my competitors have this many backlinks, they're ranking, I'm not. So what's the gap in the middle that will help me achieve first page rankings as well? And that's basically it. Like I think you can rinse and repeat it for any niche as long as you're
Mm.
very specific and you
Correct.
make it unique for each strategy.
Yeah, correct. All right. So from Enrique, I learned, sir. I'll join. Yeah, you can use the link I added below, Enrique, to join the mastermind with Julian Goldie. So, can you please share any final thoughts or wisdom to our listeners right now?
I think when it comes to SEO, like just focus on facts over opinions, right? So one of the other reasons that I do experiments every single day is because
Mm.
I know there's loads of SEO gurus out there and
Yeah,
SEOs. I know you mentioned it too. Like you don't know who to trust sometimes, right?
correct. I agree.
And so for me, I think don't even believe everything that I say. Test it out for yourself. Focus on facts over opinions. Experiment daily. That'll make you a better SEO anyway. And then you'll figure out through your own experience what works rather than potentially being misled by other people out there. And so if you test this stuff out yourself and you experiment every day, number one, you're going to learn so much. Number two, you're going to make more money. And number
Mm.
three, you actually have first-hand experience of what works and what doesn't, and you'll know for a fact.
Yeah, I agree, because there are also people like they buy courses and then they they didn't follow, they didn't test it, they just buy lesson and then stop. So this is very important as well, and also you need to have a mentor like you. So because if you are very interested to learn but or to test but you don't have a mentor, so it's still nothing. So guys, you can join the link there, juliangoldie.com, by mastermind. Julian, maybe you have something to promote or share before we end our show.
That's pretty much it. What I'm actually going to do, if anybody wants to get free access, I've got a Chat GPT SEO course,
Oh my
completely
god.
free.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
You can share. You
I've got the
provide
link.
a lot of value right now. So thank you. I really appreciate that one, Julian.
Thanks. Yeah, it's got over 200 Chat GPT prompts, tools, workflows, recipes based on what's worked for me. I've tested every single thing in that document. And yes, it's a course with like video tutorials, and it's broken down into like, okay, here's how to make money online. Here's how to do keyword research. Here's how to build backlinks. And there's tutorials for every single section. So yeah, feel free to share that too with your audience. I've sent you the link now.
Awesome. Yeah, I just added the link, guys, so you can just click that link and get the Chat GPT prompts. So, Julian, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon in SEO Mastery Summit and in our conference, WasCon 2024. Julian is also again our next speaker in WasCon 2024, and yeah, we are very excited to learn again from you, Julian. So thank you so much for having time today. Appreciate it. You're busy, but you're here. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Another list of people you that learned or who learned from sharing your value and knowledge here. And I'm also going to make a reels video so people can also see every question or understand what you're trying to say. So yeah, Julian, thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Thanks very much. Great having me on, and really looking forward to your conference. It was amazing last year. So can't wait for the next one.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
Cheers,
Julian.
man.
Thank